What's going on, guys? Bobby with Consumer Time Capsule, back with the 29th volume of the CTC Lightning Round Review, where every Friday we take a look at 8 new products hitting grocery store shelves right now, and this time it's all chips and snacks. We're eating junk food today. Not that we don't always eat junk food, but these are a very specific type of junk food. We have not one, but 2 brand new types of Pringles. We've got rotisserie chicken and Reuben.
Oh, yeah.
I am so excited for those. We've got 2 veggie goldfish. What is this? Sweet carrot and then cheesy tomato? Is that what it is?
Are there meat goldfish?
There aren't meat goldfish. No, they did make hamburger flavored goldfish one time, like cheeseburger flavored. Cheetos popcorn. We've got the regular cheddar variety and the Flamin' Hot. We have Zapp's Evil Eye chips, which I'm pretty excited about, and Flamin' Hot Doritos.
Limon.
Oh yeah, Flamin' Hot Limon. That's the whole gimmick. Flamin' Hot Doritos are already out there. So anyway, guys, Ryan and I are about to turn off the cameras. We're going to try all 8 of these new products, and when we come back, we will be ranking them from worst to first in a capsule countdown for their taste and giving a gimmick grade to all 8 of these new products so you know just how interesting everything is. So give us a sec, and we'll be right back. And we're back, and before we get into our last place entrant, on a few recent lightning rounds where Pringles have been included, we've kind of developed a reputation here, Ryan and I have, of really favoring the Pringles very heavily. So folks will say, I predict Pringles are going to win, and then they'll say, I nailed it. Well, if you're predicting Pringles are going to win this lightning round, please also say specifically if you're guessing Reuben or rotisserie chicken. But that brings us into our 8th place. Pringles. No, I'm just kidding. Definitely not Pringles. It is going to be the carrot flavor. The healthy one of the group here.
Get that out of the way first.
The sweet carrot veggie crackers from Pepperidge Farm Goldfish. I got these for $2.49 at Kroger. As you can see by what's left in the dish there, you get a decent amount of goldfish for the price. But my favorite part is, look at those smiling carrots. It's beautiful. So I gotta elevate the gimmick grade for them on that one. I'm gonna give the gimmick a 7 out of 10 because they put more work into it than they needed to. Yeah, look, a carrot flavored goldfish cracker really shouldn't be that high of a gimmick grade, but the execution is very well done despite the pretty bland packaging. So I'm overall pretty happy with it from a gimmick standpoint. As far as the taste goes, it tastes a little buttery. You know, it's pretty good, but then it's got a carroty finish, and that's a little unusual in a cracker. But I still think it's a solid snack. It feels like a healthy snack. I'll still give it a 5 out of 10. I mean, I'll give it 8th place on today's capsule countdown, but a solid 5 out of 10.
Starting at 5.
So another strong round here, and this Limon is going to have to go that way for a minute. All right, so that brings us to 7th place, and this is a underperformer of the day. It's the Flamin' Hot Cheetos popcorn. It's got this for $1.89 at Kroger. You can see a lot of good coverage on the Flamin' Hot there, but it's actually not that hot.
Yeah.
It really actually doesn't have much of a flavor too much at all. Also, the popcorn just doesn't have that like fresh, delicious popcorn taste of like a really good popcorn. So, I don't know.
It's okay.
It's okay, I guess is a good way to say it. 5.5 out of 10 okay. In 7th place on today's capsule countdown. As far as the gimmick goes, I'm going to give a little indictment of the quality of the gimmick. I actually bought the Cheetos popcorn twice because I forgot that I bought it. I don't forget that I buy stuff from 20 years ago. So that's a little unusual. So
gimmick.
It's a little forgettable. I saw some actual like excitement on Twitter about these when they were being introduced. So what the heck? I'll give the gimmick a 5 out of 10. I'm not crazy about it, but it's all right. Look, you can get the big old bag for $2.99 or you can get the small bag for $1.89. I'm glad I didn't go $2.99 on the big bag because I'm not that into it. I'm just not that into it. Which brings us to actually 6th place, which is the other Cheetos popcorn. This one does taste like Cheeto dust, which is good. But look, I've had enough of those Christmas time popcorn tins to tell you, this is cheddar popcorn, but not even all that well executed, right? So I mean, I don't know. It's just another one of those things where, you know, from a gimmick standpoint, it's going to be a 5. And from a taste standpoint, also, I'm going to give it, I guess I'll give it a 5.51 because it is a hair better than its Flamin' Hot counterpart. 6th place on today's Capsule Countdown.
Yeah, it's okay, cheddar popcorn. For the price?
I mean, it's tough to get cheddar popcorn in that small of a denomination, though, unless you're getting a Smart Food, which is far superior. But that's white cheddar. This is an orange cheddar. So anyway, the underperformer of the day, unfortunately, not that it was bad, but it did not meet my expectations. It's the Zapp's Evil Eye kettle-style chips. I found these in, of all places, New Orleans at Rouses Market, and 3 for $5. Wow. They know how to price their Zapps over there, so well done on that. Packaging is beautiful. The name is fantastic. I got to give the gimmick I can give the gimmick a 9.5 out of 10. Wow. I think it's beautiful. Yeah. I mean, this is great. The chips themselves look incredibly intimidating. Look at that.
Wow.
But it is designed as a mild chip, and it tastes like a mild chip. Really, it tastes almost more like a ketchup chip, but not that good of a ketchup chip. They're much wetter than other Zapps that I've had. They're very oily. Not necessarily greasy, but wet. Does that make sense? It's
My
wet.
mouth is wet right
Yeah,
now.
it just, I don't know, it just didn't really do it for me. I usually do like ketchup chips, and they're not designed to be a ketchup flavor. It's like, but there is tomato in there is vinegar in there. There's maybe a little bit of extra spice, but nothing that that's going to burn your palate if you're sensitive to heat. This might actually be a little bit better fit for you, but what really counted it down was that wetness for me, so I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10 and 5th place on today's Capsule Countdown. Sorry, New Orleans. All right. Well, Rouses Market. You got to give it up to the price, though. All right, so we got Goldfish Veggie Crackers Cheesy Tomato. So these also $2.49 at Kroger, and they also have tomato-faced shapes mixed in with the Goldfish here, which I really do love from a gimmick standpoint. So I'm also going to give the gimmick of these a 7.5 out of 10. The taste is pretty delicious. It tastes like regular cheddar Goldfish, but it is less salty. Not much of a tomato flavor, but I don't think that that's really necessarily a bad thing. You know, it's like a cheesy cracker taste, but not salty, not greasy. Good snack. I feel like this is absolutely perfect for children. Like this is made for kids, literally.
That's good.
It is pretty good, huh? I'm going to give it 4th place. I'm going to give it a 7.5 out of 10. So pretty solid product. Much better than its carrot counterpart. Mm-hmm. And that brings us to 3rd place on today's Capsule Countdown. We haven't covered a Pringles yet. And we're still not going to cover Pringles because they got 1st and 2nd on this review. It's the Flamin' Hot Limon. Doritos, $1.89 at Kroger for the smaller size bag there, or $2.99 for a big one. Great color on the bag. Great idea for a flavor. I'm going to give the gimmick a 6 out of 10, better than it probably should be because of a decent execution there. And here's what the chips themselves look like, and here is where my criticisms start. Some of these have too much stuff to where you're just overwhelmed with heat and lime flavor. Some of these barely have anything on them, and they're almost like eating a regular tortilla chip. That's just a flaw that just when you're competing against a Pringle, Pringles just has it figured out. They've manufactured the perfect chip that every chip tastes the same, every chip is flawless. So you've got to bring your A+ game to compete. In Doritos, if you grab a big handful of them and shove them all in your mouth, maybe they can compete. But if you're going to eat them 1 or 2 at a time like a normal human being, they're too inconsistent. And when you have too much lime flavor in a chip, that's just not that appealing. You know, when you have too much spice in a chip and it's distracting, like actively distracting, it does kind of blow out your taste buds a little bit. So, and then when you don't have enough, you're like, this is supposed to be flaming hot, and it's not. So, yes, the balance of all of it together ended up being pretty good, which is why it got, so you see you took one of the spicy ones and your mouth is just on fire right now. It does average out to be an okay chip. So I'm going to give it a 7.5 out of 10 in third place on today's Capsule Countdown, but it did underperform relative to my expectations. And really, it just had, Ryan made the perfect assessment. At the end of the day, when we're lining up all 8 of these products and we keep going back to the same 1 or 2, just because we want to, not because we have to, those need to be the top ones. And those were the Pringles. And I don't think that that's any surprise, but let's figure out who was right and who was wrong here.
Oh.
Is it going to be rotisserie chicken? Is it going to be Reuben? It's going to be rotisserie chicken, which actually is kind of an upset because remember, the turkey Pringles, those got a perfect 10, double 10 out of 10, right? And we said that they tasted like rotisserie chicken. These aren't quite as good as the turkey Pringles, but they are phenomenal. At Winn-Dixie, I got them for $1.89, and so far that is the only grocery store in which I've been able to find them so far. I like the design here. Do you see what's going on? The Pringle is being actually carved out of a rotisserie chicken that is in its rotisserie position.
That's amazing.
So for the gimmick, I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. And for the taste, I'm also going to give it a 9 out of 10. Delicious coverage. It does go a bit heavy on like the outer coating of a chicken and does not have as much meaty taste as it would need to be elevated from there. But in terms of a delicious snackable chip that I could eat 100 of right now sitting here, it's there. It is definitely there. And the first couple that we had, I think both of us were a little bit softer on it, actually. And we kept eating them, and we kept eating them, and it's like, yeah, these are good. Like, really good. Second place on today's Capsule Countdown. But for the first time in CTC history, ever, we're doing a double 10 out of 10 on 2 straight lightning rounds, and that's because these Reuben Pringles are absolutely flawless in every way. I think they're actually better than even a Reuben. Yeah. $1.99 at Walgreens, and these are Walgreens exclusives. They've been out since I believe the 1st of January, so they should be pretty easy to find at this point. Just the Pringle with the napkin around his neck. It's adorable, but it's not as innovative as a lot of the other ones.
He's posted up at a diner
so I'm going to give,
counter.
but the idea of a Reuben flavor,
Yeah.
you have to give it a 10 anyway.
That's amazing.
You have to. You literally have to. Because, look, they've done a lot of crazy flavors, but I think this is in the top 5 most ambitious because there are so many flavors that go into a Reuben. They nailed the rye. They nailed they nailed the cheese, the meat, everything about it. Even like the sauce that goes on it, just the sauerkraut on it. You taste, and then it's got a nice garlicky finish, which may not be all that accurate to a Reuben, but is freaking delicious. This is just one of those chips that, I mean, there's no limitation on how many you could eat. Like, you should be stockpiling this because they will go away. That's the thing about the Walgreens exclusive Pringles. They're only there for a couple months, maybe 3 tops, and then they're gone. And they might not come back for many years. It's just an unbelievably delicious chip. And, you know, I gotta say, there's that like upper tier of products in my life, you know, like the Bang Energies and the Bush beers. Pringles are there solidly. Like, they're in there. I want to be known as a guy who's going to rank Pringles first every time. And, you know, occasionally maybe I will be proven wrong. But I don't think I will. At least not with all that much frequency. So since we talked about a lot of chips today, 6 out of 8 of these products are No, 4 out of 8 are chips. We're going to talk about some old chips. We're going to break out Keebler Boise's from the Capsule archives here. So this was Keebler's first traditional chip, and this is a bag from 1988. Great name, by the way. Boise's, from, obviously Boise, Idaho. And then on the back, they show off their Tato skins, butter pretzel braids, and most importantly, their Suncheros tortilla chips.
Wow.
So you can't beat that. Man, this big old bag was $1.49 back in the day. Sell by February 8th, 1989. So I don't have a ton of old bags of chips in my collection. Most of my chip-oriented collection is Pringles. I have over 100 different flavors of Pringles in my collection, or at least 100 different designs of Pringles. And I really love that I have this. I think I found this from a buddy of mine in Iowa who's a picker. Found this in some old lady's house that had been there for like 30 years. But anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed the review. Man, oh man. Double 10 out of 10 for the second straight lightning round. What's coming next time? Well, it's going to be some candy.
Lightning struck twice.
You never know. Lightning did strike twice. So that's going to be next Friday's lightning round. And this Tuesday, 3 new Oreos and a CTC review. So please stay tuned for that. And until next time, of course, I will miss you until I see you. Cheers. Holy crap. Man, that's good. How do they do it?